What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Keep It Down podcast. As always, I'm your host Garrett, joined by my two brothers and co-host Logan. How you been, man?
I've been great. It's good to be back here with you guys. We've taken a little time off. My fault. I know. Just adding to the population of the world, but yeah, it's great to be back, boys.
And TC, how you living?
Man, I'm doing great. Yeah, excited to be back and just super happy for Schmog. Welcome this baby girl into the world, a couple of weeks ago. So we're just super excited for you, man. But also really excited for the pod, man. We're back at it.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. As always, before we get in too deep into it, you can follow us. You can find us on Instagram at Keep It Down Pod. Link is in our bio to our link tree, which will take you wherever you choose to listen, whether it be Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you choose to consume your content. Please rate, review where available. Boys, speaking of rating and reviewing, I mean, if we got to review this, things aren't looking good. So we're gonna start out with our little 10-minute walkthrough recap, if you will. Colorado? What are we thinking?
Yeah, it was nuts because I went to bed, guys. It was like halftime. It was like that 7 o'clock kickoff slot, which is like nice
On
when you can
Friday.
just chill. Yeah, on Friday. So it's nice, like if you could stay up and watch the game, because here on the West Coast, we actually have the opportunity to do that. I don't know how many people on the East Coast have the opportunity to
Yeah,
stay up, and it's like what, like a 10 o'clock kickoff for them. But
yeah.
anyways, yeah, I went to sleep at like halftime, bro. I was like, all right, 29-0, like Colorado about to roll, and then I woke up the next day and I was like, oh, bro, should not have gone to bed because I just would have loved to watch that. I actually went back and like watched most of the second half, and what I just saw was Stanford thrown to number 13 a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, dude. Like, I was kind of in a similar boat. I like started out, and like, I didn't. It was not a game that I was just gonna sit down and watch, but I was kind of looking at the score, kind of, throughout the evening, and Colorado went up huge, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to freaking be on Instagram tomorrow, seeing all these delusional Colorado fans talk about how they killed a team that lost to,
Sac
Sacramento
State.
State or whoever it was, and and then I was like, oh, I wonder what the score of the game is now. And I checked back in like a couple hours later, and I was like, oh, this is a game. Turn it on real quick, and ended up watching like most of the fourth quarter, and then the overtime sequence that they had there. But I mean, big root against Stanford guy. I think we can all kind of be in that same boat together. But I was just pulling for the boys so hard in that game.
Yeah. Just very. I almost want to say uncharacteristic, but that's not the word because they've shown that this is kind of their MO is to play to the level of their competition. For the most part, besides maybe the Oregon game, I guess you'd say, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just not a good performance, man. When you're up by 29 against a team that lost to a General Five school,
Yeah.
you hope to put that one in the bag. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't.
Mm.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get a read on the room in Colorado and kind of like taking the temperature of the program. It's kind of hard to kind of see how they feel about such a thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird time.
Yeah, Colorado. Like, I'm just really happy that all the buzz has died down. We talked about it, the first couple of weeks of the season, man. Even the casuals, people that have never watched any college football in their whole life, are into Colorado, and that's really died out over the last 3-4 weeks. So that's been
Mm-hmm.
awesome. To be like, okay, you guys are what you are. You're building, and Coach Prime's going to be a monster in recruiting, but you're definitely not there yet. I think if they can get you into a shootout, they have a chance, but we know that they struggle in the trenches. I think, once Oregon kind of laid out the blueprint of how to slow these guys down and handle them inside, then a lot
Mhm.
of teams are going to follow that.
Yeah, and I mean, Travis Hunter came back from injury, and so I mean, they don't even have the well, Travis Hunter wasn't playing excuse, So I mean, Stanford, congrats to them taking it to him, and yeah, hopefully we can just get back to some of the top teams in the country, and we can start talking about. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in college football this season that I feel like just haven't been really talked about too much, just because the spotlight has been on Colorado, and so I mean, kind of back to your regular scheduled program, I guess.
Yeah, speaking of top teams, Georgia, I just wanted to touch on them. Their game wasn't too exciting, but we did see Brock Bowers go out with
Yeah.
what they thought was an ankle sprain. Turns out it's going to need surgery. So,
Yeah.
no one's really has too much of a concrete timetable yet, but that's obviously a
Mhm.
huge blow, man. He is kind of the juice of that team, so
Yeah.
it's always tough to see something like that go down.
Yeah, I just feel like Georgia hasn't really played anyone yet.
Mhm.
Correct me
Yeah.
if I'm mistaken, but like I believe they still have Florida on the schedule, got Bama on the schedule still, so we're gonna
Mhm.
learn a lot about Georgia in the coming weeks.
I
I
think they
mean,
got a Tennessee game in there somewhere too.
Yeah.
okay, that probably, but yeah, like I said, they just haven't really played anyone, man. So it's like kind of hard to gauge them. Obviously, back to back national champs. I know that they're a great team,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see what they look like in the pressure cooker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I think
mean,
there's, we're getting to the part of the season where pretty much every week is going to really start counting here, and you're going to start seeing kind of those teams that have kind of been on a collision course. We have a couple games on our Pickems this week where we got some really, really good teams starting to play each other. So I think this is when the college football season is going to start getting real interesting for sure.
yeah, and then one other kind of surprising one before we, I think, get to the one that we want to talk about the most. Arizona just completely
Yeah.
dog walked Washington State,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little interesting because I thought that, a team like Washington State could give a team like Arizona quite a few troubles.
Mm.
But I guess I don't know ball that well, apparently, because, yeah, Arizona just drug them across the field for 4 quarters straight. So, shouts out to them. Happy to see Justin Flo
I,
thriving up there.
Yeah, I think Arizona's actually a halfway decent team this year, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
saw them give USC fits as well. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to be the usual cakewalk that they've been in the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, they only lost to Washington by a touchdown. Arizona did. So
Yeah. All right.
speaking of Washington,
Oh, you want to talk about that now, or you want to talk? You want to give it its own segment?
maybe just like a band-aid kind of thing. We
No,
just
yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about it. I want to get into it.
okay. Let's talk. Let's talk positives. Let's talk
Hmm.
positives. Okay. Penix didn't throw for 4 bills and 15 touchdowns against us.
No.
For okay, I'm gonna now bear with me. Let me get this whole sentence out. We pretty much, for the most part, were able to hold him in check. Now, holding Penix in check looks a lot different than holding a different quarterback in check. Like Penix can throw for as many yards as he wants to some weeks, it seems like. So the fact that we held him for under 3, like our defense put us in a really good spot to be competitive in that game. So
Hmm.
I think that's a huge positive for us.
Yeah, Penix still had his moments for sure. You
Yeah,
know, like
absolutely.
you're never just gonna be able to just wash him out completely. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He's just a stud quarterback, no getting around it. Um, Whereas Oregon was much more methodical moving the ball.
Yeah.
Washington would have big splash plays
Mm-hmm.
every now and again and go score. You know,
Yeah.
like it. If they got a 15-yard pass completion, the next play was probably going to be a 30-yard. Like they would just get rolling like that on a drive, and
Yeah.
then that was it. They were going to score. You know what I mean? Whereas
Mm-hmm.
Oregon was much more methodical with the run
Yeah.
game and short yardage kind of stuff, converting on third downs type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell it was quite evident that the game plan was to keep Michael Penix on the sideline, sitting on that cold metal bench, and not on the field.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which it was executed well for the whole game. And I think ultimately people are saying, "Oh, this Washington is this, Oregon is that," but I think what it boils down to is you saw two of the perennial teams in college football, at least for this year, play each other, and so someone has to lose, and Oregon missed a field goal, and it comes down to special teams, small moments. I mean, everyone knew before this game it was going to boil down to a couple small moments or a couple little
Mm-hmm.
situations, and that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, I mean, we did everything, man. I say
Yeah.
we, but the Oregon team did everything. Bo outplayed Penix besides the touchdowns. Bo threw for more
Mm-hmm.
yards. He was more accurate. Um, but then again, Bo missed Holden on the 4th and goal. He was wide open in the middle of the field when he missed Troy on the outside low and away. And so you obviously want those ones back. But I mean, he's still a Heisman contender whether you like it or not. And I mean, I have a pretty
Yeah.
strong feeling that we're going to be seeing them again in Vegas.
Yeah, Josh was kind of talking about the small moments, and I wanted to ask you guys how you felt about. I mean, we went for it on fourth down, what, four times,
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't think we converted any of them. I just, you know, which ones did you guys agree with? Which ones are you guys like, whoa, hold on a second? And then of course the big one at the end of the game with what, like a minute 45 left
Yeah.
at the 50-yard line. So I just wanted to get you guys' perspective on kind of those key moments.
So I think the one right before halftime made a lot of sense. I really liked that they were being aggressive and that they were trying to put like get into the end zone. You know what I mean? I think we kind of discussed it too. Like I think we all would have liked to see at least a run play because what we were on the what 2 or 3 yard line. Like
And a
Bucky,
timeout in pocket.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we have two backs that are like they can get you those yards automatically. You know, Bucky's averaging like 8 a carry, and then I mean, so I would have liked to see probably at least a run or some sort of read, RPO kind of thing, like just something kind of different down there instead of just straight dropbacks to, try to get intricate with those pass plays. But I do like that we're going for it down there. We're being aggressive. We know we're getting the ball back. If we can score on that drive, like, and then score opening up, like that's huge momentum wise,
Mm.
So I really like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Josh.
No, I was gonna say I almost have the exact opposite sentiment. I kind of feel like the one before half is the one they should have kicked. I think they should have ran it with give it to Bucky on third down. If you don't get it, just kick it, take the points. At home at
Yeah.
Autzen, I'd say you know what, fuck it, go for it, try to win the middle eight there. But on the road, man, you just got. I personally would have liked them to take the points on the one before
Sure.
halftime. The one at the end of the game, I'm perfectly fine with. I mean, that's your shot to win the game. And
Mhm.
if you punt it, they're just going to take more time off the clock. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's just tough, man, to know that they know you're going to rush four and drop, seven dudes back every single time. Like it's not a winning formula. So I like that, Dan Lanning went 10 toes down and was like, hey, we're going to trust our guys. And,
Hmm.
if they score, then at least gives, Bo some time, which they did.
Yeah.
Drove it down, missed a field goal. So,
Yeah.
happens to the best of us. But
Sorry, my I was frozen up for a second there, boys, but I think I'm back now.
you're
Hmm.
back.
Um, so yeah, no, the one right before half, I could really go either way on it. I thought the play calling down there on the goal line was just a little bit wishy washy. Um, and then the one at the end of the game, it's like I totally agree with you have to go for it. I mean,
Yeah.
you basically have a chance to win the game, run out the clock if you get the 2-3 yards that we needed. What I don't get is like we didn't see any of like I guess I kind of miss Dilly a little bit because it seemed like he was able to come up with like some
Hmm.
play design that's going to get you the 2 yards pretty consistently, either
It's
for a
the
2 point
wrinkles.
conversion.
Like
Yeah, just
he would,
the little
yeah,
wrinkles.
exactly. He'd have like the same play run as 70 different formations. It looks the exact same, but it
Yeah.
produces different outcomes every time. But
Yeah, yeah, like down there on the goal line before half, I would have liked to maybe. I'm not a offensive guru or nothing, but when you have a guy like Bucky Irving running the ball so consistently, if you have Bo Nix on like some sort of read option play, where you fake it to Bucky inside and get him on the move, like I like that idea quite a
Hmm.
bit. And then the fourth down at the end of the game to win it, I hate the rollout call. I hate the rollout. Hate it because like even on a straight drop back, you have the threat of Bo running up the middle and getting
Yeah.
yardage. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If the play breaks down, when you roll them out like that, that's where all that you're eliminating half the field of play basically.
Yeah. You're
You know
just
what I mean?
containing
So
him. Yeah.
while I agree with the decisions on both, it's like I just don't love the play call.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
just
I think there's just a couple
emotional.
of things that like I like. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I think you're right, TC. I think there were just like some of those plays that like last year we were extremely successful on fourth down. It seemed like we could not convert a fourth down, and we just had really kind of like just kind of clever plays we could run and kind of get our good players out like where they need to be. And it's just we're kind of missing that a little bit this year. I think they're just more so hoping they don't get into those situations. But like we have to be, if we're an aggressive team, like we have to be able to convert those. It kind of just all teeters on like our play style.
Mhm.
We got to keep drives rolling and get ourselves into a good position. So
Yeah, I think the thing that just kind of sucks, man, is like it is kind of a familiar feeling,
yeah,
Um, early in the year, we kind of found out against Texas Tech that we can win the close games when we
yeah,
don't play our best game. And then this one was just like that classic Oregon story that we've been through so many times. Like we played well enough to win the game. Like
yeah,
probably should have won the game. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And then even
Yeah.
with all the mistakes we had with getting stopped on fourth down all those times, like we had a chance to drive down the field and kick a
Mhm.
field goal to tie it up and send it into overtime, and then you miss the field goal, bro. Like
Hmm.
Yeah,
why us? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Why us?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you could boil it down to several different moments. I mean, if Evan Williams turns his head around on one of those two last pass
yeah.
plays
I
on
mean
the Washington
interceptions.
drive, yeah,
Yeah,
those are picks, and we're singing a completely different tune right now.
yeah,
So I mean, yeah, it sucks, but I mean, this is the time to get your licks in. So
yeah.
I
So yeah,
mean,
so more positives. Okay, it was
Yeah,
Washington.
positives.
Washington
Yeah,
is a known great team. So this
yeah.
loss doesn't hurt as bad as some of the lot. The big game we're going to talk about next, right? Like this game holds like not as much weight as another loss would hold. It was a really close game. We held the number one offense in the country to 36 points, which I know it's still 36 points, but they didn't hang up 70 on us like they
on
did
the
a few
road,
years ago on the road at their stadium in the weather, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was a good loss. It really was. Like we still have a chance. And it's not like when we played Utah a few years ago and then like they drug us up and down the field and then we had to play them in the Pac-12 championship and we knew what was going to happen in that Pac-12 championship game and it happened. But like my confidence is still through the roof with Oregon. Like we still have a shot at the Pac-12 championship, and honestly, with how the top 4 or 5 teams look, we still have a shot at the playoffs.
No, 100%. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I was going to say. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we lost to Washington, but it was an instant classic type game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like we got drugged through the mud and let everyone down and everything. Like
Yeah.
all
Not at
eyes were
all.
on us on Saturday afternoon. Like
Yeah.
that was an instant classic game. A lot of eyes watching. It was our second time with like a lot of viewers. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
The Colorado game, we came out and really did our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone on who listens to the podcast knows how jazzed we were after that win. And the rest of the Pac-12, we still got to play Utah. We still got to
Yeah.
play SC, but very winnable games. We'll
Mm-hmm.
kind of get into it later. USC kind of got exposed a little bit. Utah don't really know what they are from week to week. They can go and beat Florida, or they can't figure out how to move the ball at all. So,
Yeah.
I think we have a really realistic chance of winning out, and hopefully, if everything falls our way, we're going to get another chance at Washington in that Pac-12 championship game in Vegas.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think those chances are very likely. Yeah, everything is still right in front of us, man. Pac-12 championship. If we get a rematch with Washington, we both have one loss, and we were in the most recent matchup and the Pac-12 championship. I mean, yeah, we're going to get in over Washington every time. Not a concern. So,
Yeah. And a strong Pac-12 this year too.
hmm
A lot of good teams in the Pac-12.
yeah, it is
Yeah,
that
so
time of
like
year where they start cannibalizing each other. Like we had like
Yeah.
eight ranked teams 2 weeks ago, and now I think we're down to
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, so like while I don't necessarily agree it was a good loss, I can see what you're saying, Shimon, because like we didn't get 36-3 against Georgia on the opening weekend
Yeah.
like we did last year, and just
Yeah.
leave that nasty taste in all the viewers' mouths as well as the people that make decisions on who
Yeah.
gets to go to the college football playoff. Like we played an
Yeah.
instant classic and we came up on the wrong end of it.
Yeah. Still ranked top 10. Just drop
Yep,
down one. Like,
oh,
for losing that game, best case scenario.
definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, so that means that we're ranked in front of Texas. So that means that the AP still thinks that our loss is better than Texas's. That's all that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know we're not mess arounders.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
So now the much anticipated topic of the day, USC gets just tallywhacked on the road at Notre Dame. I think everyone saw this coming for the last couple weeks. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when you got, name them, Suak Ravens, Matt Leinart, USC, extensive USC alum, saying that they're worried about, whatever it is. It's usually not a good sign, man. So, yeah, what was it, 48-10, the final score, something like that, 48-19?
Somewhere in that ballpark, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I mean, USC won every stat category, but besides the turnover differential. So,
Mm-hmm.
USC -5 in turnovers, and they led every other stat category. So, yeah, Notre Dame just implied the classic, just be there in the fourth quarter, or not the fourth quarter, but just be available, basically. Like let these dudes shoot themselves in the foot for 4 quarters, and that's exactly what they did. So, I mean, yeah, I think every single one of us would say we were a liar if we didn't see this coming from 2 miles away. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Lincoln Riley is still kind of in that Big 12 mentality when it's just score, 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 and you're not really worried too much about what your defense does. If you get a couple of stops, you're going to win the game. That's just not going to work when you go to play, one of these big premier programs such as Notre Dame. They're going to have to, come up to Eugene, Oregon and play us later in the year.
gotta play
Just
Washington
scoring a
too.
lot of – yeah, they're going to play Washington. That's just not going to work. You're not going to be able to win every single shootout, and you can't just be hoping to get into shootouts every time you step on the field. You know what I mean?
Right.
It kind of seems like they're like showing up and being like, "Oh yeah, we got the defending Heisman. What do you guys got?" Well, we have a defense that's serviceable. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, just relishing in the fact that they were exposed this past weekend, man.
Yeah, I think USC's already in bowl season form, dude. They were just missing all the tackles, all the turnovers. Like it just when things with teams like USC, Colorado, like which is those super offensive, like kind of minded teams, dude. When it starts falling apart and your offense can't do anything, like the game's over. And it's like it kind of seems like it trickled in. Like there was like a special teams play that went against USC. Like Caleb Williams was just throwing to everyone in a blue shirt that he could find. Like it fell apart and the wheels just fall off and there's no getting it back on. It's just impossible. Like they just can't win, So, man, I mean, we kind of been saying it for a while. We didn't think USC. I mean, it's just their defense, man. Their defense isn't good and not good enough to play the games that they want to play. So, yeah, I mean, just a matter of time before that happened. And it happened.
Yeah, I think the real unspoken weak link on USC is their offensive line. Been pressured 13 times in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And we saw early in the year, against San Jose State when Caleb Williams was making all these crazy throws, and everyone in their head's like, "Wow, that's a crazy throw." But if you're a critic, you're saying, "Why is he having to make these throws against San Jose State?" And that's
Right.
because their offensive line isn't fucking blocking, man.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he makes all these cool Heisman plays, but when you play a better team who's more sound, you're going to lose every single time.
Yeah.
Or, even someone who's close to your competition. That's also the downfall of having a cupcake schedule through week 6. I mean, we're halfway through October and they just played their first game on the calendar that, you said, wow, that'll be a tough game. What was it, October 14th? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, while we're on the topic of Caleb Williams, we took a couple of weeks break, boys, and so I just want to give the listeners at home a new segment. It's called Keeping Up with Caleb. So I just didn't want you guys to miss anything that's been going on with this guy in the past couple of weeks. I got a list here of things that have come across my timeline or that I've seen about the kid.
Oh, this is great.
And I just want to get you guys' kind of perspective on Caleb Williams as a whole. We know he's a talented kid, but I mean, some of his off the field stuff is getting a little ridiculous. So Caleb Williams wants partial ownership of team that drafts him. Fun fact: Aaron Rodgers tried to do this when he went to the Jets. NFL said no, not the Jets. So this is a known thing that the NFL won't let you do.
Right.
Caleb Williams doesn't care, still asking for it.
Right. He won a Heisman.
He won a Heisman. Next up, he's got a list of teams he would be willing to play for.
Guy thinks he's
And it's just the weirdest list. Cowboys, Raiders, Vikings, Giants, Niners.
Oh.
Why?
Okay, hold on. Time out. Go. I started laughing after the first one. Say the list one more time. Let's go through it slowly, okay?
Cowboys.
Okay.
Which good luck getting any ownership of that team.
Right. I heard that they have one already.
Raiders also
Oh,
good
yeah.
luck getting
Oh,
any
okay.
ownership of that team.
Right. Move over Tom Brady.
Vikings,
Mm,
weird.
New stadium, I
Weird.
guess.
Giants. I mean, I guess you're in New York,
Cool.
but okay.
Yeah.
And then Niners, which I mean, who
Super
wouldn't
Bowl
want to play for
contender,
the
yeah.
Niners? You know what I mean? So like, this is the strangest list. The fingernail paint. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the kid from Notre Dame running on the field and harassing Caleb Williams over his
I
fingernail paint from last season.
Yeah.
That read, I think it rhymed with luck and Notre Dame on the other hand.
Mhm.
So the fingernail paint, I'm over it. Why are we still doing the fingernail paint? Like
Gotta be done.
you already got trolled for it, guy. Like
Yeah.
stop doing it. And then yeah, just the 3 picks in the first half against Notre Dame. I think it's the first team that they've played this year that doesn't have 2 cardinal directions in their name. You know, it's not a Northwestern Technical Institute. So yeah, just not a great showing.
Wow.
Um,
That's a lot to unpack.
to me, he's got Kyler Murray written all over him. And I think that's going to be my comp. Special talent, a great, athletic specimen, can make all the throws, everything like that.
Yeah.
But just not a natural born leader. And I don't know if he's the one you want at the helm, kind of leading your team into the next stage, the next level. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's going to be the guy to take your team there. What are you guys' thoughts?
I mean, it's funny that he talks about wanting to go to the Cowboys because him and Dak Prescott, I feel like, are very similar as far as the type of player that they are. Like both just absolute gunslingers. When they're on, and they can't be stopped. But when it's bad, it is just bad. Not super great decision making abilities out of the two. So I mean, maybe he's onto something with this Cowboys thing.
Yeah.
But I mean,
not for his play style on the field, but off the field, it's got to be Johnny Manziel. Like,
Johnny
guy knows how to play
Manziel.
football, but does not know how to do anything else associated with football.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
even
No,
that,
that's great.
I was listening to his press interview after the reporters asked him about that fan thing. He says, quote, "Everyone wants to be in these 2 12.5 shoes right here. I'm not worried about some kid running on the field that doesn't have anything really associated with Notre Dame other than possibly their family going there or him going there himself. Got a lot of guys over here that I've got to lead. So some opinion of a sheep. Lions don't worry about that stuff. Keep moving on. Keep fighting. Fight on." So, like, even in that, he's like,
Just give him one of these and keep
everyone wants to be in
moving.
my shoes. Like,
Lions
no,
don't throw 3 interceptions in the first half.
yeah. I mean, maybe the Matthew Stafford Lions of 2011, but like, yeah,
Shut up.
it's just, you can tell he's one of those guys who was always the most talented kid in the room. He always had everything he needed. I don't know his personal life or anything like that.
Yeah.
He was just like, he's pampered is what you would call him. Like,
Mhm.
he's just he doesn't have the mental edge that some other dudes do. Like, some dudes want it, and some dudes want to be more than the game of football. And you can tell his whole identity is being Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner. And which cool. I mean, yeah, you won a Heisman, it was great, but you're also a Nike athlete and you wore an Adidas suit. So I mean, like, what are we doing? I don't know.
Sounds like he's got a lot of catch up to do. The Wendy's commercials aren't even good either.
Boys, I think that's enough for Caleb Williams. It's bringing the vibes way down. Anything else we want to talk about as far as last week for college football? Any other games we want to touch on? I think that was about it.
Oh, I mean, not last week, but the week prior. I mean, we're going to talk about our boy Mario Cristobal screwing over another team late in the game. That's who's not the Ducks.
Yeah, happy it wasn't us.
So we've touched on, hey, it feels good to be competitive in close games late in the game. It feels good to know that we have a chance, right? That's because previously, under the Mario Cristobal helm, it wasn't always like that. For those of you listening, we blew a lot of close games because of stupid play calls or stupid clock management or whatever the issue was. It always seemed like we had an issue in the late game. So Mario Cristobal, ex-Oregon coach, now coaches at the University of Miami, they had an opportunity with 30 seconds left. Opposing team didn't have any timeouts to take a knee and to win the game on third down. And they decide that they want to go ahead and run the ball. Ball gets fumbled. Georgia Tech picks it up, scores on the last play of the game to win the game. I don't know if you guys watched that game live or if you just saw what happened after, but it was kind of one of those glad we washed our hands clean of that whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, love the fact that it wasn't the Ducks going through that, man, because
The amount of clinical depression.
I mean, yeah, and then like you saw the players on the sidelines being like, "What are we doing?
Yeah,
like, why? You know what I mean?" Would be Shmug, I did not watch that game live. No way, I'm tuning into Miami, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I saw it
can't
pop
do
on
it.
my Twitter.
Yeah.
Can't do it, but I did see it afterwards. Of course, I think most of the sports world did.
Yeah.
You just have to ask why. That's the only question you got.
It's so heartbreaking for those players, dude. Like those dudes just played their butts off for the entire game to put themselves in a position to win, and literally just gets blown. You know?
I mean, yeah, that's the concern is like that's a one-way ticket to losing your locker room, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it.
How, and then you saw we're already in the future of that moment. And they got fucking waxed by North Carolina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, Mario Cristobal's to blame, solely, completely, no way around it. I mean, yeah, you can say the guy's down, but it doesn't fucking matter. Why would you run the ball when you don't have to?
You should never have been in that position to even have the ball. It should have been
stupid.
Need in the game.
Asinine. You've lost your locker room at this point, and
Done.
It's just gonna be a downhill spiral from here.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Hey, another one of those thankful for Dan Lanning moments.
Honestly, though, we always talk about this on so many pods, but like he's 37 years old, he's the GOAT. He stands up there and takes his licks, like loses a close game, and everyone's, well, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? He said, I'm a big boy, I can take criticism. You love to see it. He's just the man of the people. You love to see it.
Boys, if we want to switch gears, I got a game cooked up for you boys.
Yeah.
Actually, it's for all of us.
Yeah, let's do it. As long as it's not about the draft, I'm super good.
No puzzles. No puzzles.
No puzzles. This is a blatant TikTok ripoff. That's where I first saw it. But I'm gonna call it the popcorn game. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of take turns picking an NFL team, and we're just gonna name players until you can't name anymore. And last man standing gets the point for the round.
Great.
You got 3 seconds to name a player though. You can't just sit there and be like, Can't be any of our own teams either, because obviously that would give one of us an advantage. I didn't pick the teams, so if you guys have a team in mind, go ahead and pick. Let's say Schmog, you pick the first team, and we'll go Schmog, myself, Chach, Schmog, myself, Chach, so on and so forth until we get one man standing here.
Okay. Well,
player. It could be any player, any generation. Doesn't have to be current. Any player throughout time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's keep it current. There was a Thursday night game tonight. Let's go to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wait. Pause.
Yeah.
So we can name any player from all time from this team?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going with the other Josh Allen. Because that guy had a monster game tonight.
I'm going
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh, Etienne.
Oh.
You're good.
Okay.
My turn again?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Trevor Lawrence.
Calvin Ridley.
Evan Ingram.
Ooh. Christian Kirk.
Jamal Agnew. 3, 2.
I can't think of anyone. Damn it.
Okay. So it's just down to me and Schmug. Okay.
Yikes.
I can think of a single person on their defense.
What was it? Freaking Gerard? No. Yeah. What's his name? What's his first name?
Is it David?
David
Gerard?
Was it the quarterback? David Gerard?
Yeah. I want to say so. Okay, we'll count it. Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, shit.
3.
Oh, he was on their team.
2.
Oh, shoot.
1.
Oh, no.
All right, that's a dub. All right. Okay, so 1 point. We're just gonna play to 2. We'll just play to 2. Make it quick.
I could have been Calais Campbell.
Yeah, there's a lot there. There's Calais Campbell. The
Yeah.
Jags was a weird one. I was like, oh
Yeah.
god, I was gonna say Mark Brunell.
Did he? Did he play for the Jags?
I'm pretty sure.
Crazy. He played for
All right.
Washington for a bit.
All right, Chach. You're up for team picking.
All right. We're going to go for a banger. We can go for a while. The San Francisco 49ers.
All right.
Brock Purdy.
Quan Alexander.
Jerry Rice.
Nick Bosa.
Oh gosh. Debo Samuel.
Brandon Ayuk.
Steve Young.
George Kittle.
Trent Williams.
Joe Montana.
CMC.
Oh,
3, 2.
no.
All right, down to me.
Dude, everything in my brain just kept telling me John Lynch, and John Lynch is just the owner, and he's not a player, and he never played for San Francisco. But I just kept thinking John Lynch. I wanted to say John Lynch so bad.
All right. Me and Chach.
Got it, guys. Sorry.
Mike Glinnickley.
Michael Crabtree.
Jimmy Ward.
Fred Warner.
Dre Greenlaw.
Deion Sanders.
Someone already said Sanders, didn't they? Okay,
No.
sorry, my fault.
Debo Samuel.
Matt Breida.
Okay. Someone give me the countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Mitchell. What's his freaking name? Something Mitchell.
No, you're thinking
All right,
of
look at Elijah Mitchell, man. Come on.
yeah.
It's all right,
Mitchell.
bro. All right, Chach. All right, that's Chach on that one.
What about Rich Gannon? Did he play for the 49ers at any one point in time?
I can't believe
I played for the
did anyone
Raiders.
Did anyone say Steve Young?
I said Young and Montana.
Yeah, I said Jerry Rice.
Okay, I'm up for picking teams. I'm gonna go with an oddball. I'm going with the New York Jets, boys. New York Jets. Schmag, you want to kick us off? You want me to?
Yeah. Bart Scott. Oh, one of my all-time faves.
Wait, oh, so it's
You
DC
mean
to me? Yeah.
Okay, Darrell Revis.
Aaron Rodgers.
Alan Lazard.
Le'Veon Bell.
Garrett Wilson.
Oh, you son of a...
3.
Sauce Gardner.
Ooh.
Antonio Cromartie.
Oh, no.
Did someone say Brees Hall?
No.
Brees Hall.
3.
Did Kellen Winslow play for them for a little bit?
We'll count it. I think he did. What's his name? Logan Mangold? Eric Mangold? Count it? Give me a
The
count.
center.
Come on.
The center, right?
Count it?
Okay, yeah.
Zach Wilson.
3, 2, 1.
LaDainian Tomlinson?
Okay. Brett Favre.
CJ Mosley.
I was going to say CJ Knights.
3, 2, 1.
No.
All right. Down to me and Chach. All right. Geno Smith.
Did someone say Michael Vick?
Oh my gosh.
Jamal Adams.
Dalvin Cook.
Old boy, Quentin Williams.
Demario Davis.
Oh, Demario Davis is a great one. Quan Alexander.
Closet Jets fan? Crazy.
That's a good one.
Someone already say Quan?
No.
You did.
3.
Did Leonard Williams play there?
Yes, he did. I think he was like the last white cornerback to play there for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to say Tyrod Taylor, but I don't think that's right. That's not right. Oh, Mark Sanchez.
Fuck. Joe Flacco.
Oh. What about Mike White?
Fuck. Oh no.
3, 2, 1.
Wow.
All right, boys.
Dude, that round went a lot further than I thought it was going to. Josh, you actually a
Jets-
Jets fan, dude? Are you a closet Jets fan?
No. Because
I
like
don't
once
know.
you say someone, like once I said because I knew Demario Davis played for the Jets, and I was like, oh,
Uh-huh.
CJ Mosley, and then I had Quan Alexander, but then Ty stole it.
Yeah, and the thing is, you'll get someone in your head, and then like the person before you says it, and you're like, oh my god, what do I say?
Nobody else has ever played for the Jets ever.
Yeah, for real. And then like once you're out, you're like, oh, could have said
Yeah.
this one. The pressure cooker, man. I tell you what, boys, I have to bring that one back. That was fun.
Yeah, that
There's
was
a lot
fun.
more teams out there too, you know.
Oh yeah. I'm just start studying up on every team. I'm gonna be looking at all the histories.
Yeah, we can do college, all kinds of stuff.
Bro, did anyone say Joe Namath for the Jets?
No.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, see, just thinking more and more after you're already out. Boys, where are we headed to next?
I mean,
Our gambling section.
yeah, $50 or bust seems like a nice. TC, do you have any updates on our season long? I know that we made some great progress this last weekend.
Yeah, I was kind of telling Chach before the pod, but we're looking great, boys. I think Bucky had like 130, so he's at like 520 for the year. He needs 900 rushing yards, so that's looking pretty good. That was looking sketchy a couple of weeks ago, but we're back on pace there.
Yep.
Bo Nix has 17 touchdown passes. We need 24.
23. Yeah, 24.
Yep. This one's kind of struggling, but Justin Tucker, 50-yard field goals made. He only has 1 on the year. We need 6.
Yeah, I was telling you guys he had 2 attempts last weekend and missed both of them.
I know. Yeah, so you got to figure they're going to line up for more. So hopefully he just starts hitting them.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce back on pace for us reception-wise. He's got 36. We need 96 total. I think we're right about the third of the way through the season. So a little quick math tells you we're on pace there.
Yep.
TJ Watt hasn't made any progress on his pick, but we
Got
only
close,
need
though.
1. So what is this, week 8? I think we get
That was week 7. 7.
Yeah, so so we get like 10 more chances after this week. So
yeah,
we're looking great. We still got a lot of time for that. And then Fred Warner already hit for us on his 1.25 sacks for the year. So
excellent work.
boys, I think the fun part is just being in the running. You know, you just got to stay in there. No one's torn the ACL. No one's out for the year. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of the fun part. We're going to be in it late in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not worried about either of the Oregon boys. The Kelce one could get sketchy. The field goals could get sketchy. But
the TJ Watt pick.
Yeah, the TJ Watt pick.
I love it, though.
I hope that's the last one.
Like the last game of this, like the last game of the regular season.
Like everything else.
I hope
green.
it's not, because I definitely am the one that suggested that, and if it doesn't hit, I'm gonna feel horrible.
Hey, you know what? We ride together and we die together. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking
boys,
of
yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. Speaking of dying together, let's talk about the last 2 weeks of our 50-year bus segment.
So Ty and I were doing some anecdotal research before this, and we just have to stop picking the anytime touchdowns. Every time we do, we lose. Every time.
Yeah, no more anytime touchdowns.
Last weekend was almost a push. We put a three-legger on the Oregon game. Troy Franklin hit the Penix under hit. Bo Nix only got 14 out of 19 rush yards. I thought, man, we were driving down the field at the end of the game. I was like, dude,
just a little.
If Bo Nix has a Justin Herbert-esque 27-yard touchdown run scamper, like just
we're crying.
The dope hit is just different. And then we threw a little $10 two-picker on Patrick Mahomes over on passing yards and Jamar Chase anytime touchdown, hence why we already talked about that. But that being said, boys, this week we got a $5 protected play in the email inbox this morning, boys.
Yes,
we're eating that up every day of the week. So we took Taysom Hill over on rush yards. It was at 10.5. He got 18. Alvin Kamara over on rush yards. He had 62, needed 50. And then for some reason, the ETN and Foster Moreau more than half rushing and receiving touchdown is not updating, but it's probably just a prize picks thing because that obviously hit. ETN had 2 touchdowns. Moreau should
did
have had a
not.
touchdown, but we move forward. Anyways,
So close.
that being said, boys, I've got my eye on one particular pick. I'm sure everyone else did as well. Popped up in the old prize picks, looked at the board. I mean, they just got Steph Curry for half a point on opening night of the NBA season. So we're
Gotta
just
take
eating
that.
that up. We're eating
Taking the
that
under.
Yeah.
Imagine you guys get the tip off, just blows out his ankle.
Okay. I mean,
Don't
that's
say
a
that
little
about
crazy
boy
to
Steph.
say. You just literally doomed him and the whole Golden State Warriors season. That's crazy.
Okay, so we got Steph. I got one that I'm liking. If you boys want me to throw it out there,
Let's hear it.
this is in the world of the NFL. We got Josh Allen for 1.5 passing touchdowns against sorry ass New England.
Ooh,
2 tubs gets her done. What are we thinking?
I like that.
I like Josh Allen a lot.
They're
Shout
not
out
much of
Ridley.
a rushing attack either.
It's hit 4 out of the last 5 games.
I mean, he scored a touchdown in the last
Diggs is on
5 in a row.
absolute nuclear mode right now as far as his production goes.
I like
I
that one.
think I like that one a lot.
Mhm.
So that's a 2-legger. We want to get up to a 3. We're going 3-legger on it or what?
I mean, we know we should have already made $25 on our Thursday night parlay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to do 3, do a little $10 bet. I'm cool with that.
What else we got on there? What looks tasty, boys? Actually, you know, I think I can log in on this. Moment.
Boys, I'm liking. It's on the
Okay.
rush yards combo page.
Oh.
Kenneth Walker III and Austin Eckler. It's at 123 yards rushing yards combined.
And Walker's playing Arizona. Eckler does have the
Walker's
Chiefs.
playing
but
Arizona. Eckler's got the Chiefs.
What tab did you say? Russian receiving touchdowns?
Rush yards
No,
combo.
rush yards combo.
Rush yards come. I'm on it. Oh. Okay, and which one were you liking? Have it. Oh, Austin Eckler and Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. Anything else looking juicier than that though? What about Gardner Minshew to throw a pick against Cleveland?
Ooh.
Cleveland defense is pretty nasty, but I don't like relying on the picks too much.
There's a whole bunch. Yeah, I mean, all these guys are at 1 pick or a half, so we just need 1. I don't see a bunch of defenses on here that are like really like that though. Baltimore, Detroit, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Seattle, Green Bay, Philly. That's Tua. He's playing Philly, so.
Chris Jones for sacks is at 0.75 against LA. He's hit in his last 5 games.
Hey now. Getting a little defensive over here, Isby.
Just some suggestions, boys.
I do like that pick.
Big Chris Jones, guys.
Anything stand out to you, Gertie?
Not
Because we are just down horrendous, and we need this bad, boys. We need it real bad. We do need it bad.
So mad.
But honestly, knowing us, we're probably gonna throw another parlay down.
Oh, easy.
Friday night, Saturday morning when all the college props come out.
Yeah, when the Oregon props come out, we're for sure dialing up just an absolute heater.
Just something nasty.
The Tua and Jalen Hurts passing yards combo under. They're 532. Sorry, 529.
Who are they playing,
Each other.
respectively? Ooh.
See what I'm saying? See what the wheels are turning a little bit?
I
I
think
smell
Jalen
it.
Ramsey coming back too.
Yeah, one, Philly has not looked very sharp offensively, and secondly, they're both very good.
That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that for a second.
All right. So out of those, what are we liking the most?
Okay, what are our options? Do we narrow it down to like 2?
What was the first one I said?
Josh Allen over
Yeah, Josh Allen.
1.5 pass touchdowns.
Yes, we got Steph and Josh Allen. I mean, we could rock with
Okay,
that.
so we're locked in there. Okay. I love the Kenneth Walker and Austin Eckler combo for 123.
Yeah, because each of them could go for that respectively.
Yeah. I love that. I don't like relying on Gardner Minshew throwing a pick, but I think he definitely could.
Yeah, we're
Um,
gonna get a nasty like five layer cooked up right here, are we? Mm.
Chris Jones to sack Jay Herb. I don't necessarily love it, but he has hit all 5 times in the last 5 weeks. But I don't know.
I mean,
Schmog, what do you like the best out of those?
I love all of them.
Dude, and they always have this Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown prop.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they have so many weapons down in the red zone, though.
Yeah, but the brotherly shove. Are you kidding me?
Oh, the tush push.
I fucking hate
The
that.
push. No, we don't call false starts on that play. Don't worry about it.
All right, Schmag, what's your vote?
Run it.
No, out of those three.
Wait. What about the Rams kicker? Field goals made against Pittsburgh.
No.
1.5. 1.5.
What's the stats looking like? What are we looking like in the last 5 weeks? Tell me that.
4-3-3-2.
This just got more complicated, didn't it, fellas?
I'd be happy if we're holding them to field goals. All right, I say either field goals or the Austin Eckler Kenneth Walker combo.
I really like the Kenneth Walker, Austin Eckler
All right. We have spoken.
ordeal.
We got Steph Curry over 0.5 points. Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Eckler and Walker over 124 rush yards.
Walker might go for 150 by himself.
I wish you would tell us if we won that parlay.
There's no way we didn't.
So now, do we want to flex it? Or
no?
Do you want to power play this MF?
I want a power play, man.
Power.
Right.
We
10,
need
20,
it back.
What are we thinking?
This one's hitting.
20?
Throw a 20.
25.
Throw a 20 on it. What do we win if we power play it?
Hundo bomb.
All right. I love it.
Let's go. Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is where we change the tides, boys.
Yeah. The tides are turning right now. Shout out Nick Saban.
But do we flex it? Is my question. $20 wins you 45 or like 22.5. Because we know Steph Curry is going to hit pretty certainly.
That's what I'm saying.
I know all of them are going to hit.
All right, fuck it. Power play. 20 to 100. It's already done.
All right.
It's time for your Carl's Jr.
Yeah, that's a Condor's throwback right there, boys.
Shout out the Converse.
All right, boys, the picks are in. Again, we're probably going to cook up another just heater parlay.
Okay,
for the
it
college world on
updated
Saturday.
that we got the 25 for our first parlay of the week.
Beautiful. Hey, we're playing with house money.
Hey, easy.
Boys, let's switch gears a little bit here. Let's move into the world of UFC. Okay, UFC, I believe it's 294 this weekend. Just an absolute monster card coming up.
Okay, wait. Before we do that, I actually have a side topic in the UFC debate.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys saw. I'm sure you guys did. That USADA and the UFC are splitting ways.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What are our thoughts for everyone out there listening? USADA is the infamous drug testing authority of the UFC. They've been partners for years. As speaking with our father, he says that guy's a dirtbag. So I don't know. Could be true, could be not true. I don't know. So yeah, what are our thoughts, boys? What are our thoughts on the whole USADA branching away? Do we like it? Do we not like it? What's your initial take?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really going to change all that much. It seems like we're probably just going to have, like, I don't know what you would call them, another vendor come in and do the drug testing for us. Or not for us, but for the UFC, you know? I don't think it's going to be like, oh, everyone can do steroids now. Like, you're good to go now that USADA is gone, you know? There's still going to be, you know, rules and regulations as far as that stuff goes. But, yeah, USADA is a little bit sketchy. We've learned that over the years. But yeah, I don't think it changes much as far as, you know, rules and regulations goes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I guess I kind of wanted to spin it into more of a question of would you like to see more of, people with traumatic injuries, a la Conor McGregor, being able to branch out and use these substances to get back to their healthy status and then fight again? Is kind of the more in-depth question that I was looking for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I think like you could even kind of extend that to like cannabis use too.
Hmm.
Like, why is Nate Diaz not allowed to smoke weed? Like, if he wanted to, you know what I mean? Like, how is that helping him win the fight in any way? As far as the Connor thing goes, it's kind of a slippery slope because it's kind of known that he's been on substances that wouldn't be allowed.
the Jews.
So it's like, where do you draw the line if you're allowing injured fighters to use it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really slippery slope, like because, um, I mean, the UFC has honestly had a issue with substances that haven't been allowed of the performance enhancing type. It's been around for a long time. There's been a lot of guys that have gotten caught, and a lot of guys champions that haven't been caught. You know what I mean? So you're kind of turning it into the wild west a little bit. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like search territory as far as like all this stuff goes, and what is allowed and what's not. I mean, I'm sure there'll be another association that somebody comes up with that comes in that regulates everything. But I mean, for injuries and for like all that stuff, I mean, there's going to be a completely different rule set. I think it's going to change for the better, I hope. But yeah, we'll see. I just all the memes of Connor just completely like juiced up and huge, like going into a fight are just killing me right now. But
Yeah, I mean, I think you draw the line somewhere between Connor using it for an injury and Vitor Belfort making Michael Bisping permanently blind because he fucking kicked him so hard in the head. Like, I
right,
mean, the line's got to be somewhere in there, you know?
yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, this all started. I was listening to a Bradley Martin podcast. He had this dude on who I listen to who kind of covers YouTube boxing and all that stuff, and they got into like a really in-depth conversation about it. And so I found it really interesting, and it does open a lot of doorways. Like TC was saying, I think Nate Diaz got suspended 2 or 3 years for not meeting his whatever they're
yeah,
called gateway guidelines or whatever, or your whereabouts. That's what it is. And like he wasn't, because basically they'd say you need a test at this time. If you're not there in 30 minutes, then your whereabouts are unknown, and that's like yeah. So Nate Diaz racked up a bunch because he is who he is, and then popped the weed test, and then like gets suspended for 2 or 3 years. So there definitely needs to be some reshuffling of the deck, but.
yeah,
Like we said, I don't know how much or how little it needs to be, but hopefully it's in a little more healthy place.
yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, TC, back to what you're saying. UFC 294 stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a monster card. I just kind of wanted to throw it to an open floor discussion. Like, what are we looking forward to? What are we watching out for on this card? I mean, two huge fights at the top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
it's kind of just been a crazy timeline. I mean, for those of you not keeping up with it, I mean, we've had two, both those both the top fights are title fights, correct?
no, the
Or just as Islam and the other guy
yeah, the other one's a 3 round.
and Volk, right? And then,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, like, so two of the main, two fighters of the main event, co-main event, are out due to injuries, and so they found. I mean, they turned a good, an already great card even to an even better card with this. So I think it's good. I've been watching kind of like some of the press conference stuff, and I think it's going to be a really good night of fighting. I am not a huge fan of the Kamzat guy. If that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
just something about him. Something about him. I just want him to lose so bad. Maybe it's like the beard, no mustache thing. I think maybe that is it. But
Yeah. Kamzat is a fucking monster, bro. Like that
He's a
is.
freak.
yeah,
Yeah, he is a freak. He picks people up like rag dolls, slams them on their heads, beats the
Mhm.
shit out of them, and he's talking to Dana White the whole time when he does it. He's just a freak. It's gonna be really interesting to see what he does with another freak in Kamaru Usman. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So definitely knockout power with that guy. Just a longtime vet, so going to be a crafty fighter.
Yeah,
I just after that whole deal where Kamzat missed weight, and then
Yeah.
I think they brought in Kevin Holland for him to fight.
yeah.
And then afterwards, he's like talking like he's the biggest, baddest dude on the planet, and everyone's like, "But bro,
You
like
just
you
wait.
didn't make weight." I think Joe Rogan asked him like, "What if this was a title fight and you didn't make weight? Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing here, guy?"
because he's supposed to fight Nate Diaz that night, right? Or for that card.
Um,
Yeah, he
I
was.
don't remember
I
who
think
the
so.
original opponent was.
Yeah. It's just kind of crazy, man, that this happened in this sort of fashion. Like, I mean, first of all, if Volk beats Islam Makachev, that is on 9 days' notice or 11 days' notice, whatever it
Yeah,
was. That'll probably be one of the most impressive feats in UFC history, if not the
Yeah,
most impressive feat in
coming
UFC
off of
history.
surgery too, right? If I'm not
Yeah, yeah,
mistaken,
like
I saw.
some sort of minor arm surgery or something, but surgery nonetheless. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, Kamaru and Chimaev is an interesting one. They're both kind of grapplers that also strike. They're pretty
Hmm.
similar in the way they fight, actually, but um, yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot for both fights. I mean, I guess the real kicker is how ready are they on 9 days' notice. So I think
Hmm.
that's going to obviously be the biggest question leading into the thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Volk is obviously a champion at his weight class,
Hmm.
and he's going to be ready to fight at all times. He just
Hmm.
seems like that kind of guy. A lot of people are saying that they think he should have won the first go round against Islam. So definitely kind of a revenge
Yeah.
fight for him. But just the only thing you're scared of is just the 10 days notice. You think of full camp, he's definitely going to be ready to roll in there. But
Yeah.
like I said, I think he's one of those guys that's going to always be ready to fight.
Yeah.
yeah, especially because of who he's fighting. Like if we're talking about some striker dude, but just the way that the Dagestanis, as we call them, the way that they fight, man, it's like you have to dedicate a full camp to it because it's so unique. Not unique, but it's intricate. It's detailed. It's not something that people just do all the time. Like then, now they're rolling around for 6 weeks before the fight, and you have 9 days now. So
Yeah.
Mm.
it's expedited to say the least. And he's got to travel to Abu Dhabi on top of all that.
Right.
So,
Yep.
yeah, but I think it's going to be a banger. I don't know what time it starts. It's in Abu Dhabi, so it should be pretty early, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me look, see if I can tell you right now.
Is it what normally
And
like 2 or 3 o'clock is when that card normally starts when it's over there?
Yeah, I want to say it's usually like a 2 p.m.
Yeah.
start time
Just want
for
yeah,
at
like the
least
main
the
events are
main
done by like
card.
5, I think,
yeah,
usually.
it's got to be somewhere right around there.
Yeah, definitely what I'm trying to check out though. 11.
Oh,
11. So I think the main event will probably be right around like 1 o'clock or so.
Jeez. It's right during the
But
organ
yeah,
meeting, too. That's rough duty.
but yeah, boys, it's kind of nuts because um the two fights at the top of the card are both replacement fights.
hmm.
Islam was supposed to fight Charles Oliveira. Uh, Kamzat was supposed to fight Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of steroids.
Yeah,
exactly
dude.
right. So, but honestly, like the 10 days notice can also affect the fighter that's been in camp the whole time. They're training for someone completely different. We saw
Yeah.
the same thing happen to Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? He fights Nate Diaz on a short notice. Well, he hasn't been in camp training for a dude that's way taller and lengthier than him. He's been, training for a different opponent. So it can kind of backfire for both fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Be
gonna say
interesting. It's gonna.
for Kamzat, like you're going in there against Paulo Costa, who's a pretty tried and true Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy with a knockout right hand, and then you're going to Kamaru Usman, who is more of a brawler, kind of that same Colby Covington esque
Mhm.
style. So yeah, it's definitely a switch up there. As far as the Charles Oliveira replacement,
Yeah.
I mean, Volk's one of a kind. He's one of, if not the best possible counterpuncher maybe ever. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just the way he manipulates the ring and cuts off space and angles, and like he's never puts
Speed.
himself in, yeah, never puts himself in bad spots more than once. And so I think it's gonna be really interesting, man. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know what Islam's going to go in there and try to do? He's going to try to go in there and get his legs wrapped underneath him and then just go to work that way. So
Yeah.
it's just how much has Volk been training these I don't even, he probably fought what, 4 or 5, 6 months ago, something like that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, it's going to be a banger nonetheless.
Yeah. Definitely one to watch. Boys, like we were talking about, we're about a third of the way through the season. Just want to get you guys' thoughts on your respective teams. Chach, I know you kind of might have a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth right now. You guys played earlier tonight. Where are the Saints at a third of the way through the season?
Um, we're just in a rough spot, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think some of it's offensive play calling. Um, And then also, you just got dudes uninspired at times, man. Like Chris Olave just quitting on routes, which is doesn't. I mean, obviously we watched him a bunch at Ohio State and all that stuff, and he doesn't seem like that kind of guy. And so it kind of just makes you wonder what's going on behind closed doors. The defense is having some kind of weird struggles that I wasn't expecting. I expected them to kind of carry this team and then play some opportunistic offense off takeaways and turnovers, which ironically is exactly what we had tonight, but couldn't capitalize. I mean, we had the ball 3 times in the first 10 minutes of the game and put up 3 points. And I'm pretty sure they're all in positive territory. So that's just not a
Mhm.
winning recipe, man. But season's not over. We're in the worst division in the NFL. So, eh, I mean, anything could happen. Just got to start clicking
Yeah,
some wins together.
I was gonna say the thing you got going for you is you're chasing the Buccaneers, led by
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Mhm.
So I mean, who knows what could happen there? But yeah, you're right. It just kind of looks like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is just a little bit uncomfortable right now. And they're
Mhm.
talking about it on
Mhm.
the broadcast earlier. Just really quick to the check down, like drop back, not their check down. But at the same time, you got Alvin Kamara to check it down too, which is never a bad option to get the ball in that guy's hands. But yeah, just need the offense to get in some sort of rhythm. Defense can keep you in the game, but I don't think they're like in the elite tier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just, you gotta have one side or the other start stepping up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Schmack, what are we thinking? Who? Here's the thing. Who would have thought at the beginning of the season that the Washington Commanders, out of our 3 teams, would be leading the charge per se?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the tides are changing. Okay.
Yep.
I mean,
So where are we at?
devastating loss on Thursday Night Football to the Chicago Bears. Absolutely horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
homeboy. I mean, is it EJ Moore, CJ Moore?
DJ.
DJ
DJ.
Moore. I knew it was one of those. Has the game of his lifetime against us. And I mean, you know what? Lose that game on Thursday night, but an excellent bounce back win against the Atlanta Falcons. I'd say what you want about him. Okay. Excellent bounce back win at a away game in Atlanta, coming out with a victory, a solid victory out of the boys, which was great. It's good to see. We had like 3 interceptions, one to seal the game. So Desmond Ritter, I can't get a beat on that guy, man. They look like they were disintegrating at the end of that game. But it's good, man. I think the team's doing good. We're sitting at 3-3, and we got the Giants this weekend. So I mean, feeling good. Might be hopefully be 4-3, considering how bad the Giants are this season. Yeah, man, it's good. Things are things are going swell for us. Everyone's staying healthy for the most part. We kept Sam Howell relatively clean last Sunday, so I mean, all positives from that game. To be honest with you,
Yeah, definitely. And kind of direct opposite to Chach. Philly's more than likely going to win that division. So the
Oh,
thing that's kind of
100%.
working against you guys is that you're fighting for that wild card spot if you want to have any sort of postseason life, you know. So
Yeah.
that's just the downside of playing in that NFC East in these last couple of years. But
Yeah.
yeah, you guys are the young bucks on the come up, man. Sam Howell's looking like a stud these last couple of weeks. So it
Yeah.
looks like you guys found something there.
Yeah. Super excited. I mean, he is sacked more than any other quarterback in the league, but I mean, we'll clean that up hopefully at some point. And yeah, defense is holding together fairly well, so creating some turnovers.
You know.
TC, how are we feeling about your Pittsburgh Steelers?
You know, um, every game day, it's like Michael Scott in The Office, man, when he's like, I am ready to be hurt again. You know? It's like I came in with such high expectations for the season,
Same.
and we're just inconsistent, is what I would call it. You know, offense has been absolutely horrible. Just not a lot going on. I think losing Deontay Johnson for those 4 weeks really hurt us. I
Yeah.
think George Pickens has a little bit of developing to do. I don't think he's quite wide receiver one yet. A lot of teams have been doubling him, and I don't think he's ready for that sort of attention quite yet. So
Sure.
I think getting Deontay back this week will be a little bit of an uplift for the offense. Defense looks elite some weeks, and then other weeks Houston hangs up 30 on us. So I don't really know what we're doing there. It's something about that 49ers Shanahan tree that's just giving us fits this year. Obviously, 49ers worked us, and then D'Amico Ryans and the Texans worked us. They just have some sort of blueprint that works against us. Other than that, man, we're beating teams we're supposed to beat, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
You know,
What are your?
I don't.
I know I've seen a lot of talk. What are your thoughts on the whole Matt Canada situation? Is it as urgent as everyone on the interwebs is making it to be, or do you think there's just some stuff that needs to get worked out offensively?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of two things. I think Matt Canada's play calling is very predictable. A lot of times it's going to be run, pass. And if it's not like your
Yeah.
traditional run, pass, it's like run, jet sweep pass kind of
Yeah.
thing going on.
Yeah.
And it's just like we're not like Najee isn't what he was made out to be, I don't think. He's not making anyone miss. He's not trucking anyone. Like, he's just running up to the line of scrimmage and getting tackled. Like,
I saw a clip saying
um,
why does Najee look like he's running in jeans?
straight up. And then, like, I think we're gonna start giving the ball to Jalen Warren more, which I'm kind of excited for. He's actually hitting the hole.
Yeah.
And the other thing going on is Kenny Pickett, man, just
Yeah.
struggling without Deontay for sure. I don't know if he's the guy long term going into the season. I was really hoping he would be, but I don't know, man. It's a lot of mediocrity on that offense right now. So I don't know if Matt
Sure.
Canada is to blame or if it's just a combination of there's not a lot there. The
Do
offensive
you
line's bad.
do you think much of that video clip that came out over Pickett's audible touchdown to Matt Canada? Obviously, not having much of a reaction. Do you think that holds any weight, or do you think that's just kind of how Matt Canada is? You're not too concerned about it.
I think it's kind of how he is. I don't really know all that much about the guy, honestly. He's up in the booth during the game, so you're not seeing him like down on the
Yeah,
sideline, as much on camera. Never really even heard an interview from the guy,
it doesn't
so
talk
I
much.
don't I don't have like a connection to him at all, really. You know what I mean? Like I
Sure.
do for Mike T. But yeah, kind of strange when it's a huge play, to win the game
Yeah.
essentially, and just dead eye in it,
Yeah.
like nothing else is going on. But people are trying to make it out to be like he's got Kenny Pickett under like chains or something. He's like, you
Sure.
can't change the play at the line. And it's like Kenny Pickett's a second year guy, a first round pick. Like if he's calling the audible for GP, one of your
Yeah.
best offensive players, like I bet
For a
he's
good
gonna let him
reason.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just wishy washy to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we're existing at this point in the NFL season.
I'm thriving, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, but one last thing on the Steelers, man. We are tied for first place in the AFC North.
Okay. I mean, yeah. So yes. Okay. Let's talk positives here. Okay. because the Browns are probably, maybe second best. The Bengals just can't get anything rolling right now. I know they're slowly heating up over time, but the
I mean, the
Bengals
Browns
look
have
like
the
hot
best
trash.
defense in football right now.
The Ravens also look like hot trash. The whole, just letting Lamar run around do his thing really ain't working out too well because we knew it wouldn't. So, you're not in a bad spot. Still not in a bad spot.
Yeah, we kind of got the blueprint for playing that Baltimore team.
Yeah.
We got the better of them. I don't remember what the stats are, but I think out of the last 10, I think we won 8, something like
Yeah.
that. So we kind of got the blueprint on Old Lamar there.
Mhm.
I don't think he likes to deal with Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt at all.
Mhm.
I thought the funniest thing, though, was Joey Porter Jr. had the game-winning interception at the end of the game, covering OBJ. And after the pick, he told OBJ to go be a family man. Such a simple but like effective burn. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you old.
Yeah.
Once Joey Porter Jr. Sparta kick my punter in
Why
youth
don't you
football.
just whip on over
Yeah.
the locker room, dude? That's wild, dude.
Yeah. Anything else, boys? Football otherwise related?
We got our Pickems, bud. Slowly
Oh
roll.
my gosh.
Yeah, we got a week too.
Just hot off the press, baby.
All right. Let's get into it then.
All right. Management's telling me here's the Pickems.
Okay.
All right. First off, number 7. This game is just massive. Number 7,
Huge.
Penn
Huge.
State traveling to the shoe, playing the 3rd-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Lines leaning 4.5 points to Ohio State. I think this is an upset. I don't like what Ohio State brings to the table. I feel like they're decent at everything. They don't really excel at any one thing, and Penn State just seems to do that better than Ohio State, in my opinion. So I'm taking Penn State here.
Yeah. So my first thing on this game is, why is it at 9 a.m.?
That's a weird start time for this game.
This is number 7 versus number 3. Like, how is this not in a primetime spot? Like, how is this not at least like a big noon kickoff type of game on Fox? You know what I mean? 9 a.m. kickoff is wild for this game. That being said, neither of these guys' offense has been very good. I'm not really familiar with either of these teams. I feel like, obviously, I saw Ohio State play Notre Dame, and they got the win there. It wasn't a very convincing win.
Last play of the game.
Penn State is just a check down machine. They kind of just dink and dunk all the way down the field. But I think the key in this game, Ohio State, is without a couple of their top dogs on offense. I think that's going to make things really challenging for them. And I'm going to get crazy. Penn State. I'm going Penn State.
Hey, I'm also getting crazy. I'm going Penn State. I think Ohio State is limping into this game. And if you're going by basic math here, Ohio State, very super close game against Notre Dame. I think Penn State's a way better team than Notre Dame is. And Ohio State, dude, I think it's going to be trouble at the shoe. It's one of those daytime games where they don't always thrive. So Penn State, hey, we are, baby.
Yeah. Speaking of big games, 17.
Hey, hold on, Chach. Before we get into the next game, make Schmog pick first.
Okay, we'll do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Tennessee.
There's been a lot of internal.
There's no
chatter
collusion.
Here.
Okay, fine.
There's been a lot of internal.
This one's
chatter
easy though. I don't know why this is the one you're making me pick first.
No,
Tennessee at Alabama. Number 17, Tennessee going to Alabama.
No, you're picking first for the remainder of the picks here.
Okay, that's fine. Tennessee.
All right, here we go.
Go Vols.
Wait, what?
Let Chach say his spiel first, and then you got to pick. You don't know how to pick first. You've never done it before.
That's not true.
All right. So before Schmog rudely interrupted us, 17 Tennessee at 11 Alabama. Schmog's taking Tennessee, so I'm just instantly fading Schmog and taking Alabama here.
You're wrong.
Easiest pick in the world. Tennessee
It was
is
easy
bad.
last year too, wasn't it?
Yeah, until Tennessee got dog walked by Florida. Do you remember that happening when they called the timeout with 2 seconds left?
Spam me like a goldfish. Go Vols, baby.
All right. Anyways, TC, what do we got?
Yeah, I'm also going to Alabama.
Haters.
Tennessee caught lightning in a bottle last year. A lot of those boys have since moved on to the NFL. I'm not giving them the TCU treatment to say that they're a bad team now after catching magic
Batting,
in a bottle,
batting.
but they're just not a good team. And you go into Alabama to meet up with Nick Saban, you got to go with Saban, even with the shaky quarterback play, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on. First thing, before I get to this game, USC has a gauntlet of a schedule remaining, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I think they
Yeah.
play Cal this week, and then they have Washington, Oregon, Utah, and UCLA to end the
Hey,
year.
pinstripe ball, here we come.
Exactly.
Septuagint.
Okay. All right, we got the 14th ranked Utah Utes heading to the Coliseum facing the number 18 Trojans. Schmag, you don't have to pick first. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. I'm taking Utah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just,
picking Utah as well.
I just can't
I
do it.
mean,
I can't pick USC. Like there's a part of me saying like, you know what, maybe they have a little bit of a bounce back. Maybe like, but I just can't pick them. I just can't pick USC to win. I have to go Utah, even though they're playing at SC. Gotta go Utah.
yeah, I don't feel like SC is like a crazy place to go play a football game. It's not like
It's
you're
like
going to the big
90.
house. You're not going to the
Yeah,
It's 98% 60-year-old grandmas who went to school there.
true.
Actual.
Yeah,
yeah. Like it's not like a ruckus place to go play. Like we've gone there
right.
as Oregon fans, and it's like this ain't really nothing.
Yeah,
But yeah, we're going Utah. Caleb Williams crumbles if he even smells any competition, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
real and
Right
true.
on. Okay, moving on. Number 16 ranked Duke heading to Tallahassee, playing number 4 ranked Florida State Seminoles. Vegas is giving Florida State 14.5. Schmag, what's your pick?
Yeah, I think Florida State covers on that. Florida State's just hot right now. Um, yeah, nothing else really to say there.
Yeah, so I think some point this season Florida State will stumble, but I
Mhm.
don't think it's going to be against Duke this week.
Yeah.
Duke is not going to be scared of the moment. We saw what they did against Clemson in the opener, so that's a huge stage. They played some big games between now and then. Duke's going to show up, but I don't think that Florida State is going to lose to a team that's on their radar. I think it's going to be more like one of those Boston College type of games that they really struggled with, one of those can't wake up kind of games. So I'm going to go with Florida State as well.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys are saying, but something inside of me is
Oh
pulling me in the
gosh.
other direction.
Okay.
I think this is it. Riley Leonard's season. The Duke Blue Devils are going to Tallahassee. They're going to give Florida State their first loss of the season for the boys. Just saying. All right, moving on. Final pick 'em of the week, boys. This one's, there's a lot of good games, and then this was the best of the rest. So I apologize for that. Anyways, moving on. We got the 13th ranked Ole Miss. What Old Rebels? Yeah, okay.
Rebels.
At the Auburn Tigers, boys. Only matchup of the week with only one ranked team.
Yeah,
Schmag, what do you think?
I'm gonna go Ole Miss. Auburn's coming off that absolute schwacking against LSU, and I think they're hurt bad. Call an ambulance.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Ole Miss, although I don't feel like I know either of these teams at all. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I haven't been watching too much Ole Miss or Auburn. I think I picked Ole Miss to beat Alabama at one point this year. I don't know what I was on.
Both
I
of
mean,
you
it's
guys
their
did.
only loss. So Ole Miss is 5-1, and Auburn is 3-3. So
I
Ole Miss only
do, I
lost to
do,
Bama.
I do know that Ole Miss has a halfway decent quarterback, so I guess I'm going Ole Miss.
Let's go Rebels.
I don't know, Jackson Dart, right?
Yeah, I'm also gonna take Ole Miss here. Shout out Robbie Ashford, Auburn Tigers quarterback, Oregon Duck legend, of course. But yeah, we're gonna take Ole Miss here. On the road though, man. Was it Jordan Hare? Is that what it's called? I think Jordan Hare Stadium.
Yeah.
No, that is no pushover. Okay, let me tell you.
No.
Um, but yeah, I think Ole Miss gets it done. I think it's going to be closer than people think, but I think Ole Miss is going to take it in the end.
Boys, I do have a confession to make though. Like during the summertime in the deep dark days when there's just no sports on that you really care about, it's just like middle of the season baseball. On like ESPN2, I think it was, they were showing like I believe it was 2013 Auburn versus Missouri, bro, and I watched every minute of it. It was
No.
it was Cam Newton and who was the Missouri quarterback at the time? Schmag, come on, you know it. It's old boy. I think he went to the Chiefs. But anyways, just an absolute shootout. Classic Cam Newton at Auburn, bro. I don't even know. They would come out in just the weirdest formations. I was like, was this really football? Like at the time, you know what I mean? They'd be like in pistol, but with a full house behind him. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Just throwing to the fullback on like a Texas route. It was insane.
Nothing goes harder, man. Nothing goes harder.
Yeah. So hey, shout out Auburn for that though.
Yeah. Schmuck, what are you Googling? You look.
Trying to find out who their quarterback was.
Oh, I thought you were.
It's he was like in the Heisman conversation. I can't believe I can't think of his name right now.
Was it Drew Lock? Was he a freshman?
No, not Drew
No, it
Lock.
wasn't Drew Lock.
It's Chase Daniel.
What?
Chase Daniels, am I right? I'm pretty sure I'm right, but y'all don't remember Chase Daniel being that boy?
Was it James Franklin? Senior quarterback. 198 completions, 2,400 yards, 19 touchdowns.
Honestly, it was Chase Daniel, but maybe I'm mistaken. Either way, boys, I just wanted to, kind of throw out a confession for you boys. Where were we at about 2-3 months ago?
Yeah, I mean, for me, nothing else to report, boys. I've got nothing. I'm all dried up like a little salty spittoon at this point.
Yeah, same here. Anything else you want to go over, Schmag?
No, I'm good. Oh, okay. I mean, if we're talking about boxing, I mean, we're going to talk about the absolute dumpster fire that was that whole entire boxing card last weekend.
Yeah.
Does it does this quote unquote influencer boxing thing just kind of seem to be running out of any steam for you guys? Like it's kind of losing popularity and like it's just becoming a big show now. Is that kind of what it feels like?
Definitely. I mean, I just don't get the matchups anymore. Like, especially Jake going to fight Nate Diaz. I don't think that made any sense at all.
Yeah.
Why are we fighting Dylan Dennis?
At
Like,
all.
Yeah.
who is Dylan Dennis? You know what I mean? Like, he's in Conor McGregor's camp. Like,
But it hasn't even
I
fought
think
professionally in 5 years.
I think he's in Bellator. Like,
Yeah.
where that's not even like a star matchup, you know what I mean? So that's what you're going for is for like the WWE. Like, oh, this is exciting. Like, you missed that completely, guy. Like, I guess it was
Yeah.
for the storyline. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the thing is like when boxing critics would come at it, and then Jake Paul flatlines Tyron Woodley in the middle of the ring. Like it was like, oh wait, no, this is real. But then we revert back to this like tomfoolery, and it just makes a complete joke of the thing all over again. Dylan Danis
Yeah.
threw less than 30 punches in 6 rounds
In a
of fighting.
6-round fight. Yeah.
Like it's just he's like that kid at the school lunch table in gym class. Everyone's playing dodgeball, right? He's the kid who's sitting in the corner and not playing because he's cooler because everyone else is a tryhard. That was him on Saturday night. He looked like a complete
Yeah.
idiot who didn't know how to fight. And I mean, he tried to get Logan in a guillotine. He slipped it. He tried to get Logan in a single leg. Logan fucking hammer fisted him on the ground. Like, you lost the MMA fight in the boxing fight. Like, it was just ridiculous. And yeah, it's getting old real quick.
It really kind of seems that people know that it's like a giant cash grab now, and people are going to do whatever they like need to do to get in front of those like top, if that's what you want to call them, top couple like guys in that space to fight them because they know that they're going to get a huge payday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's really kind of getting to the point now where it's like it's just WWE, but they're actually hitting each other in this sport. Well,
Sometimes.
not in Dennis's case because he didn't. But like, it's just so cringy to watch, dude, and like all the stuff leading up to it's just chaos. It's just chaos to be chaos. Doesn't mean anything. It's all empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and freaking everybody, literally, I think like of the what was it, like 6 fights on that card, like 4 or 5 of them are going in for appeal. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm going to talk all this crap, I'm going to lose, and then I'm just going to appeal it. Like it's so stupid. I don't
Yeah.
know. We used to talk about it a little bit on this podcast when Jake Paul was really like getting into some good fights, but it's just losing all of it for me, dude. It really is.
Yeah, I'm starting to get annoyed by it as well. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, like
Like,
they just need to have the Jake and KSI fight and get that thing settled, and then if Jake wants to keep pursuing this boxing thing, great. But
And
like we
then,
gotta stop with this influencer Tommy Fury acting like he's Tyson Fury bullshit.
yeah, it was horrible. So anyway,
Yeah, so that's where we're at.
cool.
Yeah, so that is effectively going to do it for episode 37 of the Keep It Down podcast. As always, Instagram, Keep It Down Pod, in the bio, take you to our link tree wherever you choose to listen or consume your content. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Google Podcast, Spotify, wherever it may be. Boys, give people something to think about while we're gone.
yeah, I'm once again asking for everyone's thoughts and prayers for our parlays this weekend. I really thought the weeklies were going to go in a different direction for us, boys. We're still kind of stuck at the starting line here, boys. So we really need something to go our way. So everyone that's still listening, man, just keep us in your thoughts and prayers this weekend. That's all I ask.
Oh man, yeah, dude, it was horrible. It was a rough slide there, dude. It was getting the days were dark and the nights were darker, dude. We were on a just train without the wheels, dude. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for listening. It's been fun. It's great to be back chatting it up with you boys, and hopefully we're in for a great weekend of football here.
Don't forget to be good people out there, all right? You heard it here first, boys. Peace.